Vuitton and Nike, Bape and Supreme, Cactus Plant Flea Market and Nike, and much, much more. It is time for Hype Deceased News. Yeah, that luxury and streetwear news you love. Let's get into it. That was a wild intro, huh? Yo. Before we get too much further, subscribe to the channel. I make tons of luxury and streetwear content. And also, if you're looking for deals on luxury and streetwear, check the description. I've got some of the best sites with all authentic stuff. Check it out. Our first story this week, as I mentioned earlier, is about the Louis Vuitton X Nike Air Force One release. Now, this was on Virgil's second to last runway show, I believe he did, maybe the last one. When he was alive, there was one more posthumous runway show that they did with his looks. But as far as I understand, they were originally going to release these shoes earlier, but postponed them, of course, due to Virgil's tragic passing, right? But supposedly, these are actually coming much sooner than you might have expected. The kind of like leak accounts are starting to say February. And there are a crazy amount of shoes in this collection. And like, I'll be honest with you, I don't care. I just don't. I can't bring myself to care anymore, you guys. You guys know how I feel about these collabs at this point, but there's like another layer to it. I appreciate Virgil. I understand why he did this collaborative Air Force One. Custom AF ones, especially like Louis Vuitton, Gucci ones, are a classic storied part of black culture. He's just bringing that finally onto the actual runways. So the concept of it makes perfect sense. But in practice, like, are they that exciting to me? No, because for like decades, you have been able to buy customized Louis Vuitton, like Damier Air Force Ones, monogram Air Force Ones, the Louis Vuitton Charm ones. You can buy every single one under the sun. You do not need a legit Louis Vuitton Nike version of it. You could just get it, and that's okay. And a lot of them probably look better than these, although I do really like the variety here. So, I mean, if you really have to have the real thing, and I definitely feel that way about certain things. I'm less into reps than a lot of people out there. But for these, I just don't see the point because they have already existed for so long in a even more authentic way. Like, the customs are the authentic version in my mind because that is where they originated. So for these, I'm glad they're doing them. I understand why Virgil did them, but I don't see the point personally. Our next story is about NFTs. And this is exciting. We've never talked about NFTs on this show, and this may well be one of the only times we talk about them because I don't care. I just don't. Most of them are like scams, right? They're like pump and dump. They're sold as investments, like, hey, buy these and hold on to them and you'll make a ton of money. But it's really not the case for most people. Most people just don't know what they're doing. They're probably gonna lose money on these. And now the news story here is they are being stolen. Bored Ape Yacht Club, I think that's what it's called. It's one of the most popular NFTs. It looks like weird, just internet forum graphics to me. That's what most NFTs look like, just like the things people would post on 4chan or Reddit back in the day, maybe. But now they're worth like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, maybe. I don't know what these things are worth. They're worth a lot of money. That's all I know. Anyway, people are hacking into other people's accounts now, stealing their NFTs. But I mean, like, you could just right-click, save as JPEG, and then you're kind of stealing it too. That's the most tired NFT joke of like all time. It's been made from the very beginning, but I don't think it'll ever stop being funny. Like, right click, save as. You just stole. You wouldn't steal a car, would you? Would you right click an NFT? It's always going to be funny. But people are actually stealing like the real cryptocurrency wallet versions of these NFTs, and people are freaking out. But before they started getting hacked, they were talking about how great it was to have a decentralized like cryptocurrency market. But then as soon as they start getting stolen, they're like, oh, we need some like regulation here. We need somewhere centralized so that this never happens. So suddenly they're just trying to make it like the regular currencies that they were trying to get away from. Everyone's a hypocrite. Just the quicker you'll learn that about this world, the better. Don't buy NFTs. Another big collab supposedly on the way. Next season, we have been hearing that Bape and Supreme will be teaming up. For what? I don't really know. Why? I don't really know. Again, like, this is something that did happen for a box logo way back in the day, and I just feel like, doesn't it feel like this collab has happened a million times? Like, I know it hasn't, but, Comme des Garçons Supreme, the North Face Supreme, Junior Watanabe Supreme, W-Tap Supreme. Everyone has done a Supreme collab. A Bape Supreme collab at this point does not excite me in any way, shape, or form. Bape is already like super saturated in the market. I'm seeing Bape camo and shark hoodies everywhere. Like the movie theater I go to is in a mall. Every time I go to this mall, I see people in Bape. That did not used to happen. And Bape used to be like bigger or more like hype a few years ago, but they are everywhere now. So, and hey, Supreme for that matter is also everywhere and super saturated at this point. So do I need like a double saturation Bape Supreme team up? No. Will I look at the collection when it comes out? Yes. I am always interested in this thing. Like, hey, like I just said in the last segment, everyone's a hypocrite, myself included. I probably won't buy it, but I will be intrigued to see what they do. Our next story, another collab. Why is all the most newsworthy stuff collabs? I don't know, but this one is actually somewhat intriguing because this one is Cactus Plant Flea Market, who I think are one of the best remaining Nike collaborators. The Swarovski Crystal Dunks are epic, right? I'd say Cactus Plant and Union might be the best Nike collaborators at this point. I thought Virgil did a great job when he was doing the Off-White Nikes, but I don't know where that's going at this point. So Cactus Plant may be all we have left. And these are like really fuzzy, like dunk blazery hybrid looking things, so that we don't have too much information right now. We know it's like an earthy tone, but I am always interested to see what CPFM comes up with in these collabs, and I will definitely be looking forward to these ones. Our last story for the day is a fun one. Let's do a little bit of a roasting, some good old-fashioned roasting. Let's tell somebody to get out of fashion, and usually I do not recommend that, but when they are an exploitator supreme, I will allow it. And that is because Jeff Bezos was recently seen wearing Casablanca clothing, and it was like the worst version. Of course he wore like a silk monogram shirt. Why do rich people wear the monograms? At that point you're like rich enough to wear the stuff that's nicer than the monogram. So why do they still go for the monograms? Like there's a photo that went somewhat viral recently that I saw of Floyd Mayweather wearing like all over Fendi monograms. And listen, logomania is well and truly dead because that stuff, it don't look good anymore. And now for this Jeff Bezos thing, there was some context. I will allow that. If he was supposedly going to like a disco party or something, so it wasn't like what he would choose to wear every day, I don't think, but like Jeff Bezos, I like Casablanca for the most part, but Jeff Bezos and Casablanca monogram, it just hurts to see, and please, everyone out there, just mock him mercilessly and relentlessly because it's what he deserves. So those were the best news stories of the week. I hope you enjoyed. Take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.